Alright, welcome back to the Southern Islands. We're watching the Ultra Ball League on the 31st of May 2025. This took place at Taste Orchard, the second to last Ultra Ball League of this season. How are you all doing? My name is Ash. I will be one of your many casters for this session today. Alright, so without further ado, we have Kato on the left playing the Joltik box. And we have Nicholas Ng playing the Slowking on the right. Not to be confused with our Nicholas Young, who also does our casting. I don't think he plays a deck like Slowking. A very interesting matchup, as the Slowking deck is mainly a 1-prizer deck, whereas the Joltik box is a 2-prizer deck. So Kato wants to go all out with the Joltik box to get big knockouts, ideally with the Iron Hands. And the MP very much, which could easily take out most of Nicholas's Pokemon on his side. On the other hand, you have Nicholas with the Slowking. This Seek Inspiration gets him any Pokemon from the top of his deck. If it's a Pokemon without an ability, he can use any of the cards attack with whatever the Slowking can do, which is very powerful because you can copy the Curum's Trifrost, you can copy the Jewel Break from the Regigigas, you can copy the Conkeldurr for a big 250 damage. You know, it can do a lot of things, provided if you set up well, because without energy, the Slowking is not going to do anything. Of course, on the other hand, Joltik box also needs energy with the Jolting Charge, so whoever sets up the energy fast and quick will probably get a very fast game over here. Alright, so I myself also was playing in this, this is unnecessary information, but I was playing in this tournament as well. Very fun event, was my only UBL this season. I did pretty okay, not very well, not as good as Kato did, but the respectable 6 wins 3 loss with a deck I just decided to play on the whim because why not? Alright, so Kato, one of the junior players, one of the stronger junior players this season, doing well ever since the Haruki Sosuke brother team went to Malaysia. And Nicholas Ng, you know, the Slowking deck, very strong, like we said, you know, with the Seek Inspiration, can get you anything, provided if you set up well, because the good thing about the Joltik box is you can get the Miraidon to charge up, to bring out the Joltik, bring out the Iron Hands to Pikachu, and as long as you get enough supporters and energy on board, you can just fly with energy and go crazy with either the Iron Hands, the Pikachu EX, and even if you have to, you could even use the Mew or use the Joltik to evolve to Galvantula to attack. And it's a pretty respectable 180 damage, I believe, if your Joltik is fighting against a Pokemon with an ability and it has a Lightning and Grass energy attached, which is very, very strong. Looking forward to see over here, we had, I believe it was 9 rounds of Swiss in this tournament. There was no top cut once again. So, you know, whoever manages to reach 8-1, 9-0 probably did very well. You will see what happens at the later end of the tournament. You will see who does well, who did not do so well. I did pretty alright. Played a Zoroark EX myself because I realized if I don't play Zoroark EX right now, I'm not sure if I'm confident enough to play it again in the upcoming format, which is the MBL, because with Shaymin in format, it's a bit tough to do bench sniping attacks. But hey, did pretty well of a 6-3 win-loss record. I believe, I'm not sure how both of these players did, but once we get time called, because I believe the one issue we had during this whole tournament was that there was a lot of in-between time, there was like time wasted in between matches, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And without further ado, we should be getting things started quickly. Just a moment of time from now. You can see like we have quite a couple of Pokemon in the hand of Nicholas, like he can go pop off in the next turn. I wonder who goes first, so because in this situation, Nicholas wants to go first to get Slowking on his second turn, and Kato wants to obviously go second to get Jolting Charge straight away. But if Nicholas knows that Kato is playing a Joltik deck, he would willingly let Kato go first, I believe, you know, just to buy some more time to evolve and fill up his bench. Okay, I think we see a Pikachu EX on the hand of Kato. Nicholas, I'm not very sure. It's probably either a Slowpoke or a Natu. The Natu gets him the energy by way of evolving to Xatu with the Clairvoyant Sense, attaching energies to the bench. So he would attach normally a Psychic Energy to the bench, then he would use the Jet Energy to bring it to the active, and then hit straight away with the Seek Inspiration. Right, we're still waiting. A long time in between. I'm looking forward to see. Oh, Kato. This is a little kid, very chill boy. Likes to hang around with me. It's a very good boy. I think he's doing pretty well this season. And okay, we have Kato starting off with the Pikachu, and Nicholas starting off with the Natu, I believe. He gets the Buddy Buddy Poffin. He gets 2 Slowpokes. He has the Budew on the bench as well. A pretty good start, I guess. But ideally, he wants the Budew in the active because he can't really do much with it in the bench. So Kato straight away starts his turn. He gets an Iono, shuffle the hand, probably not a very ideal hand at the start for him. He gets the very convenient Nest Ball though, which unlocks him his entire deck, because with the Nest Ball, he gets Miraidon. With Miraidon, he gets Tandem Unit, which gets him Iron Hands EX and the Pikachu EX. But the problem is, he needs to go get a Joltik right now. Because as long as the Pikachu's in the active, Jolting Charge is not happening. So if he can get a retreat on the Pikachu over here, things will be a lot better for him right now. So for him, however, Kato's just like, I'll just put 2 Iron Hands. I don't really need a Joltik right now. My Pikachu will be a big strong wall. No worries over here. Just looking through his deck once again. He chooses to get the Joltik and the Iron Hands instead. Shuffling the deck, attaches the energy to the Joltik. If he has a Latias in hand or a Nest Ball to retreat the Pikachu, he would do so, but he does not. So unfortunately, he does not. He gets Nicholas's turn. He evolves the Slowpoke to a Slowking. He uses the Earthen Vessel, chooses to discard the Conkeldurr, which gives him big damage. Takes 2 Psychic Energies to his hand. I believe he also has Jet Energy in his hand, so he could pop off this turn. That's right. So he's going to use the Retreat, however, and uses the Budew's Itchy Pollen to prevent Kato from using any items this upcoming turn. But you know what, Kato for him is fine. He's just going to boss the Slowpoke in front. To say like, yeah, you can Lock Beam for 1 turn, but for how long? So now he goes straight into the Jolting Charge, taking 2 Grass and 2 Lightning Energy, and he can attach it to any of his Pokemon however he likes. So he opts to put, I believe, all 4 on the Iron Hands, and giving the turn back to Nicholas. Nicholas still has the, he chooses to bring up the Budew. He puts the Evolution, and he chooses to evolve, I believe, his first Xatu and the Slowking, because again, he needs to attach the energy via the Clairvoyant Sense and the manual attach to pop off with the Slowking. And now Kato's turn. He puts the Mew in the bench, uses the Restart, draws 2 more cards, and now uses the Miraidon's Tandem Unit once again to fill up his bench and at the same time thin his deck if possible, but he chooses to fill it. Although I guess he gets the Iron Hands or from the hand, I'm not very sure. He retreats the Joltik, thinking if he should retreat the Joltik, because if he gets the Iron Hands of the knockout this turn, the Budew will be gone. But with Nicholas having the Slowking in the bench, this could be very dangerous for Kato, because if the Iron Hands gets knocked out, all the energy he works so hard to bring to play is going to waste. But you know what? He doesn't care. He uses the MP very much. Takes 2 prize. And now Nicholas using the Clairvoyant Sense to draw 2 cards. Problem is, he needs to get a... Okay, so he's getting the Cypher Maniac to take 2 cards. I'm probably guessing a Jet Energy and something like an Academy at Night to help him get his next attack up. Alright, so now he uses the flip the script, obviously, so he does get the Jet Energy and the Academy at Night. He puts the Academy at Night, he jets the Slowking in front. Obviously looking for a big attack this coming turn. If he gets the Conkeldurr, I think I see a Annihilate in his hands. He could use the Destined Fight, but it will knock out both his Pokemon and Kato's Iron Hands, which is also very good. But you know, without any Slowking in play, it could be very dangerous for him. But you know, he just does it anyways. He uses the Academy Knight, puts the Annihilate to the top, uses the Destined Fight, knocking out both the Iron Hands and the Slowking. Now it goes back to Kato's turn. He puts the Mew in the active. Nicholas opting to put the Serendipity to his active. And now Kato himself gets the Serendipity. He uses the Crispin, probably attaching to the Iron Hands. They have the Iron Hands. So the Iron Hands is enough to hit with the... Gotta check his energies again, because if it's just 2, it might be difficult. So he opts to take the Psychic instead to put on the Jolting, and the Metal to put on the Iron Hands. And now he uses the Jolting charge to put on the Miraidon, 1 Lightning and 1 Grass to the Miraidon, and 1 Grass to the Iron Hands. That could mean that he probably has no Lightning energy, or he's waiting to use it in the upcoming turn. Alright, we're back to Nicholas's turn. He has the Serendipity in the active. He uses the Counter Catcher. Okay. I think they're at, okay, he's 3 to 4, I believe. I can't really tell from here. Uses the Counter Catcher, brings the Iron Hands to the active. He uses the Max Rod to take 5 cards back to his hand. I'm guessing he's probably the Slowking, Slowpoke, Annihilate, Conkeldurr, and something else. He uses the Clairvoyant Sense, attaches it to the Slowking. And now he uses the Ultra Ball, discards 2 cards. Probably looking to get either an Energy Excel or a second Slowpoke to the bench for next turn attack. Still looking through his deck. Nicholas still looking through his deck. He's thinking on getting this Slowpoke, but he opts to get the Regigigas instead for the Jewel Break to get the knockout on the Pikachu in the upcoming turn. Oh, he also has a Slowking EX in his deck actually, that helps him to duel 160 damage and takes any 2 cards to put to his hand, I believe. He plays the Arven, gets the switch. He brings the Slowking, he manually attaches the Slowking, and now he uses the Academy at Night and uses the Conkeldurr for a knockout on the Iron Hands once again, and now he's down 2 prizes. Kato wondering how he can get the turn back. Alright, now let's just thinking what would be the best play over here. He retreats the Mew, he puts the Ursaluna in the active, because now that Nicholas is down to 2 prizes, the Ursaluna can use Blood Moon for 1 energy. Now Kato opting to use the Crispin, I believe. Just checking through his deck, checking through his hand, see if there is any energy left in the deck. He gets the Blood Moon, he takes the 1 prize. I believe, nope, he uses the Miraidon, uses the Photon Blaster to knock out the Slowking. And now Nicholas putting the Serendipity to the active. Can Nicholas get the knockout for this turn? And now discarding 2 Pokemon with the Ultra Ball, probably getting a Slowking this turn. Yep. The thing is, he still needs to retreat the Serendipity, get the Manual Attach and the Clairvoyant Sense to get the attack off with the Slowking. Can't really see what this card is right there. It's very nice and blingy. Okay, he gets the retreat, the rescue board, however. Then he gets research to get 7 cards from the top of his deck. Very strong, fresh research. He gets the Cryptoscript to draw 3 more cards. And now he uses the Clairvoyant Sense. He manually attaches 1 more as well. He puts the Slowking into his bench. He uses the, I believe he uses the Night Stretcher. He gets the Conkeldurr. He uses the Conkeldurr. He gets the win, a very strong win for Nicholas to get the first game down. And we'll see you in the second game. Alright, we're back with round 2 of Ultra Ball League Swiss happening at Taste Orchard. The second to last, the penultimate Ultra Ball League happening this season that just concluded a week ago. We have Adrian on the left playing the Roaring Moon, what it's colloquially known as the Moon EX deck. We have the Baby Moon and the Big Moon EX for very strong damage. And on his, to our left side, or right side, sorry, we have Anthony playing the Okie Dokie EX. Very interesting. I have not really seen this deck played much often, but a very interesting poison matchup on both sides. So if these players both play a poison package, it makes it even more interesting because both players really want to spread damage counters everywhere. And okay, well, Anthony accidentally showed his active, but you know what? Doesn't really matter. We're gonna see anyways in due time. He's starting off with the Okie Dokie EX. Not a pretty bad Pokemon to start out with actually, because it has the Poison Musculature ability, which lets it take 2 Dark Energies and attach it to the Okie Dokie straight away. On the other side, you do get Poison, but you know, getting the 2 energy is very strong because its attack the Chain Craze below does 130, but if it's poisoned it does another extra 130. And if you still happen to have the Binding Mochi tool card, it brings it up to a whopping 300 damage. Pretty strong actually. So it's a package that works by itself, but you know, the poison might be working to its detriment if your opponent can bring your numbers close enough for a knockout, because on the other hand, the Roaring Moon EX has the Calamity Storm that lets it hit for 220 if there's a stadium in play that you can discard. So if the Okie Dokie brings itself down to 220, it brings itself right in the range of the Calamity Storm. But also, you know, it's 2 big basic EX decks, so they're going to hit hard, hit strong. We're looking forward to see which player makes with the win. I'm excited as well. Don't really often see an Okie Dokie EX deck. We've seen a couple of baby Okie Dokies doing pretty well at the Premier Ball League earlier this year. Alright, the count goes. We have Adrian starting off with the Pecharunt. So Adrian does the manual attach. He uses the Carmine, discards his entire hand. He draws 5 cards. Not bad actually, you know. The goal of the Roaring Moon deck will want to trim energies out. He uses the he gets the Perilous Jungle. So if he can get the what you call it, the Brute Bonnet in play, he can really knock out the Pokemon. But I'm still wondering, why is Anthony not showing his active Okie Dokie in the bench? And active, I don't know why, because the game's already started. You could show your Pokemon off right now, you know. And you know, he just goes off again. He uses the Squawking Seeds, the Squawk ability EX, draws another 6 more cards. He gets the Brute Bonnet. Unfortunately, not enough to get the second Ancient Booster Capsule for the Poison Tick. He opts to use a second Ultra Ball to get the Roaring Moon EX. He uses the Night Stretcher. Takes the Dark Energy, attaches it to the Roaring Moon. And now he passes the turn back to Anthony. Alright, so I believe since Adrian has nothing else to do, he passes the turn back to Anthony. Anthony thinking what his best play is right here, right now. He's starting off with the Okie Dokie EX. He has the Pecharunt EX on the bench. The Chains of Subjugation lets you move any dark Pokemon from the bench to the active as long as it is not Pecharunt EX. Alright, so we start off with Anthony using the Ultra Ball, discarding I believe a Dark Energy and a base Pokemon. He gets the Mew EX himself, you know, the very strong restart. Let's take 3 cards. Looks like he has about 3 cards in hand, so if he has less than 3, he can fill his hand up to 3 cards. Right, choosing to attach the Dark Energy to the Okie Dokie in the active. He uses the Arven. He takes the Nest Ball, probably. Looking to see if he could take either the Future Booster Capsule to do damage to the Pecharunt, or he could use it to get, he's getting the Future Booster Capsule. So most likely he's also getting a Brute Bonnet himself for the poison. It's gonna be a lot of poison shenanigans happening right here, I believe. But he's looking to probably, is he gonna draw the card first? Because he has to play the energy, the capsule before he does that. So opting now to play the Nest Ball. Good guesses are probably going to be either a Pecharunt or a something else. A second Okidogi perhaps. Yep, he gets the Brute Bonnet, just like Adrian on the other side. And now probably attaching the future booster capsule to the Brute Bonnet. And now he uses the Mew to restart for 2 more cards. Doesn't seem like he could use any of those cards right now. Is he? Could he? Okay, wait. He just attached the energy to hand, so very alert Adrian telling his opponent that you cannot attach again because he already did attach to the Okidogi in the active. And now he just opts to pass his turn. So Adrian uses the Earthen Vessel, attaches it to the Roaring Moon, and just, I'm not sure what's happening right here. He's passing a turn back. He attaches the energy to the Okidogi. He uses Mew. Restarts for 2, I believe. Touching the Binding Mochi as well. Opting not to attack the Pecharunt because honestly hitting it at 130 isn't really worth it at all. So now, dangerous situation happening for Anthony right now because the Adrian has a Roaring Moon with 3 energies. He could hit with the Frenzy Gouging next turn. He could even use the Calamity Storm. And now he is using the Chain Craze to knock out the Pecharunt, opting not to get the poison to get the knockout because if he does, Adrian could easily use the Frenzy Gouging. So he's kind of baiting Adrian right now to use the Frenzy Gouging because unfortunately, while the Okidogi, the 3 energies are going to go away, the Roaring Moon will bring himself down to 30 HP. So is he going to use, okay, so he uses Calamity Storm. Nope. He uses the Frenzy Gouging. He knocks out the Okidogi, brings himself down to 30 HP. Now taking these 2 prizes, and now Anthony only at 1 prize right now. Anthony playing down the Facility EX, using the Flip the Script to draw 3 more cards. Does not really have an attacker happening right now, so he opts to bench the Okidogi EX. If he could get the Pecharunt in play, he could get the knockout on the Roaring Moon and denying Adrian from using the Frenzy Gouging. So he uses the Brute Bonnet. Both Pokemon are poisoned. If he can get the Pecharunt out right now, he will be able to take the knockout and denying again Adrian from using the Facility on his turn. Uses the Ultra Ball, discards Iono and something else, and I'm guessing he's taking a Pecharunt. Takes the Pecharunt. He retreats the Mew, puts the Pecharunt active, and he really should shuffle his deck after searching his deck, but probably forgot to hit a battle. Regardless or not, he should shuffle a deck. And for some reason, he replaces the Perilous Jungle with the Perilous Jungle, which is technically illegal because if it's the same stadium, you are technically not allowed to bump your opponent's stadium, regardless or not. Anyways, it's round 1, just reminding people to see that just don't do this next time. So he uses the Janine Secret Art to take 2 Dark Energies and opting probably only to use 1. And now he passes to the Pecharunt. He gets the, yes, okay, good. He gets the Shuffle. He uses the Pecharunt ability to knock out the Roaring Moon, denying Adrian of the prize. But again, remember to shuffle your deck. And don't bump your opponent's stadium if it's the same card, because that's not how stadium work. Alright, Adrian now just looking to see what he can do. He has the Roaring Moon in the active, the baby Roaring Moon. He attaches one to the Roaring Moon EX to the bench. He uses the Stardust Vitality. Takes 1 Dark to the active, picks 1 to the bench. The Roaring Moon now being able to hit with the Vengeance Fletching. Draws 3 cards, the very powerful Sada. And now Adrian using the Nest Ball. Is he looking to get Fez? Because I sure hope not, because he's not going to be able to draw 3 cards, because a knockout with poison does not give you 3 cards. Well, thankfully, Adrian opts to get the Pecharon EX instead. And now he uses, I believe, Vengeance Fletching. It's definitely more than 70 damage because he has 1, 2, 3, 4. He hits for at least 110. The Pecharon is knocked out. Both players are down to 3 prize even. Anthony puts the Mew to the active. And now Anthony uses paces the Pecharon, and for some reason he discards the Iono, which you shouldn't, because once again, read the rules, Anthony. You gotta shuffle the card back into the deck and draw cards. That's how Unfair Sam works. Now Anthony drawing 5 cards anyways, and Adrian down to 2, but he has a Ancient Capsule and a Poké-gear, so he can get a Sada next turn to power up the Roaring Moon EX. And now, anyways, Anthony using the Flip the Script, he attaches 1 energy to the Okidogi EX. Has not used a supporter for turn yet. He could if he chooses to, because if he leaves the Mew in the active, the Roaring Moon is going to eat it alive in his upcoming turn, so he'll have to retreat the Mew with something. He probably can use the Pecharon's, the Brute Bonded's Toxic Powder to poison both active Pokemon and then retreat to the Pecharon or something like that. Okay, he does so. He chooses to poison the Pecharon for some reason when he could have just poisoned the Mew and retreated instead. But the thing is, the Roaring Moon has the Ancient Capsule, so he will not get poisoned. Anthony's plan is kind of faltering right now. Maybe he's not thinking straight. It happens sometimes, you know, in Heat of the Battle, players just forget what to do. He just passes the turn back to Adrian. Adrian attaching the Future Capsule to the Roaring Moon EX, uses the Poké-gear. He gets a Sada, a very, very timely Sada. Uses a second Poké-gear. I think he wants to get a boss right now. He does get the boss's orders, because if he can retreat or even boss up the Mew, he gets the Mew up to the active, uses the Vengeance Fletching. And I believe it was 5 energy, so as long as it does more than 90, the Mew is going sayonara. He takes his 2 prizes, and now it's to Anthony's turn. Can he get a knockout this turn? So he has to put something to the active right now. The problem is, if he puts anything to the active, if he knocks out the Roaring Moon, Adrian can just use the Roaring Moon EX to the active, gets the Sada, Vengeance Fletching, game over. So, you know, honestly, it's looking pretty grim right now for Anthony, with quite a couple of play mistakes, but judging from what we're seeing over here, the game is more or less match and set. If he can boss up the Roaring Moon though, he might be able to switch the ties, and he does so. He attaches the Binding Mochi to the Okidogi. And now he uses the Brute Bonded's Toxic Powder, poisons the Okidogi, uses the Chain Craze, gets a 300 damage on the Roaring Moon EX. He gets a knockout, and now the big Okidogi EX is in the active. Adrian needs to find a way to get the comeback. If he does not, it's a very unfortunate play. He attaches the Ancient Booster Capsule to the Brute Bonnet, uses the Sada's Vitality, attach 1 Dark Energy to both Roaring Moon and the Brute Bonnet. Roaring Moon with 3 energies now. He uses the Pheasantipity, visits it to the bench, attaches a Binding Mochi to the Pecharon EX in the active. If he can manage to power up the Pecharon EX, however, with an E-switch, he might get the game. So he attaches a second Ancient Capsule to the Pheasantipity, uses Mew's Restart for 1 card, and now he fezzes for 3 cards, and he draws 2 E-switch, touches it to the Pecharon, uses the Angry Burst to get the win. A very nice comeback from Adrian over here. Alrighty, welcome back to the Ultra Ball League Swiss Round 3, happening at Taste Orchard on the 31st of May 2025. Once again, I'll be doing your casting. My name is Ash. We have a very interesting matchup right here. We have Wayne Tan on the left playing the EV box, and we have Ben playing the Gardevoir on the right side. Very interested to see how this game plays out. I've actually played against Wayne's EV box in the GBL just last month, I believe. Playing right there in Goodness Gracious Games, GGG. Favorite store of the TSI. I got my butt kicked, unfortunately, with nothing in play. It's a very fun game, however, so I'm looking forward to see how Wayne finds his way with the EV box against Ben's Gardevoir. So, both decks are not exactly fast-hitting decks because, as we all know, Gardevoir normally plays the style of benching a few routes, getting Monkey Dories, using Budeos to slow the game down to a halt, and then once they finally have energy in the discard and Gardevoir EX in play, the Gardevoir play would just swarm with a long comeback gameplay. Very, very strong comeback deck, one of the strongest this entire format. You could even say it's the BDIF, winning multiple regionals all around the world, doing so well even in Melbourne, just like our favorite Jeremy Tan taking second place. But the Wayne's EV box, also a very strong deck, a very strong player, would know how to control the flow of gameplay. So the EV has the boosted evolution, letting him evolve on turn 1. So if you have a very insane hand on turn 1, you could actually pop off and get a very fast donk if you like. But normally EV players would set up the EVs, get the fan rotoms, build out the board, it gets the area 0 out in play, and then once the board has enough EVs and Hoots, get the Noctowls, evolve the EVs, using the Flareon's Burning Charge to power up the bench Pokemons or even itself, and then preparing a Sylveon EX to clear up your opponent's boards or even something else. So I'm looking forward to see over here. It should be a great fun match. Strong players on the screen, especially Wayne Tan, former Pokemon World Championship player. We're always very proud of him doing that well. Hopefully he can do something equally as well again. Excited to see how both players turn out. And yeah, I'm not really sure how this game will go, because if the Gardevoir can know how to play against the EV box, it should be a relatively fair matchup, not that difficult. But if they do not know how to go around the Angelite play, the game might be more over than you could even start, blinking. Second you blink an eye, game over. Angelite, board's gone, hopes and dreams gone, and round lost to you because you just couldn't get the win. Alright, so looks like we should be ready just about here. So fun fact about this table over here is it says table 48, but actually because it was table 1, but table 1 is not bright enough to do a stream recording, so I was actually on table 48 on round 1, but I was moved. So yeah, it's pretty nice to be on table 1 for one game, got a win. Didn't really do so well after that though, but still looking forward to see Wayne Tan with the EV box battle the Gardevoir once the game gets started. We'll kick the action into high gear. Also, I really like the playmats we have on screen here. Wayne's unknown Ouija board style playmat, and then Ben with a very traditional game Pokemon board. Anyways, we have Wayne starting off with the Fan Rotom. He benches the Hoot and the Eevee, opting to use the Fan Call right now, searching his deck for up to 3 colors Pokemon with 100 HP or less. It does not have to be a basic Pokemon. It could even be a Noctowl, which really helps to get the Noctowl engine decks just pop off very, very fast. He opts to get I believe 2 Noctowls and 1 Eevee. Just preparing for his upcoming turn. Right now, just looking through his deck. Okay, he gets 1 Hoot and 2 Noctowls instead, obviously. Because if there's a Noctowl doing anything, it's kind of pointless. So yeah, just benching those Pokemon, and now passing the turn back to Ben. Ben using 2 Nest Balls, very strong first hand. Getting him a Monkey Dory perhaps, could even get him a second route. He definitely wants to get a Budue to slow down the gameplay. Or if his hand's empty, just get a Cleffa and just draw out the hand a little bit more. Opts to get a Cleffa and a second route, benching it right there. Now he needs to get the route away from the active, retreating it away. He gets the Morty's Conviction, drawing 3 cards by discarding 1 card, retreating the route, attaching the Bravery Charm to the Cleffa. Puts the Cleffa in the bench, uses the Grasping Draw to draw his cards up to 7 cards into his hand. And now, passing the turn back to Wayne. The strong thing about the Bravery Charm is that it denies Wayne's Fenrodon from using the Assault Landing to get the knockout on the Cleffa, because now it's at 80 HP, not enough to get knockout because he only hits for 70. Now Wayne over here using placing the Terrapagos in the bench, and now benching the Eevee, the Hoothoot, now using the Noctowl, Jewel Search, getting the Terra Orb and the Crispin. Just looking through all the energies in the deck because he wants to get the right amount of energies to get the Angelite. So now he attaches it to the Eevee at the bench. He gets his second Noctowl, takes the Crystal to hit the Angelite, or perhaps even a Magical Charm, and getting an Ultra Ball. So yeah, just thinning out his hand, just putting the Crystal. Retreats the Fenrodon with the ability of the Latias EX's Skyliner, now using the Angelite to shuffle both routes back into the deck. Thankfully for Ben, he had one in the hand. He uses the Earthen Vessel, discarding his third Psychic Energy, probably thinning his deck down for more energies. He gets one Psychic, just one Psychic was enough for him, probably looking to get the Iono play or something to that extent. Right now, just seeing what's the best play to do right now. You know, because without any routes in play, he is not gonna get a Miracle Force or even a Gardevoir to use Psychic Embrace, and without any energy, nothing's happening. So, just opts to pass turn back to Wayne. Wayne using the Magical Charm to knock out the Cleffa. And over here, Ben putting the Clefairy to the active, probably attached in the previous turn and didn't really see. He uses the Nest Ball to get the Pheasant Divinity to the bench. He can now use the flip the script to draw 3 more cards. He gets his 3 cards in play. Can he get the knockout on the Sylveon, however? Because right now on the board we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not enough to get the knockout on the Sylveon, unfortunately. Now he uses the Research, discard his hand to draw 7 fresh cards. His routes on the bench is now evolved to a Kirlia, using an Ultra Ball, discarding a Budew, and Iono, looking to get a second route, which if Wayne can retreat the Noctowl, it's probably going to go back into the deck by way of Angelite once again. He has the Cleffa back in the active, however, you know, because he doesn't want to have the Clefairy in the active. Because if he does so, in the following turn, Wayne can get a big knockout, getting to more prizes. But honestly, at this point, Wayne does not really need to rush for prizes. So yeah, he passes the turn back after using the Grasping Draw. And now Wayne is looking through his deck with the Noctowl. He gets the Crispin, which means this Noctowl is going away from the active. And looking to see a second card. He gets paused for the upcoming turn, perhaps. And now he opts to use the Crispin, takes 1 Grass and 1 Fire. So 1 is definitely being attached to the Noctowl to retreat. 1 he puts on the Eevee, which is probably preparing for a Flareon, which he does so right away here. And now he retreats the Noctowl to the Sylveon. He Angelites the Kirlia and the routes as expected. Back in the back, making Ben work hard again to draw out the routes. Tough game, but it is what it is. Now back here we have Ben, you know, with a Cleffa on the active, Clefairy EX in the bench, Pheasantipity in the bench, and a Munkidori. He uses the Earthen Vessel, discards the Kirlia to draw 2 Psychic Energies, which unfortunately isn't enough to get a knockout this round probably. Uses the Iono, shuffling his deck, both players' hands to the bottom of the deck and drawing cards equivalent to the number of prizes. Wayne taking 5, Ben taking 6. He finally gets Artisan in play. He benches the routes with the effect Artisan, thinning down Wayne's ability to put more Noctowls in play, but he still has 1 Hood, so he can get the Area 0 once again if he gets a Noctowl in play. And now, as expected, he uses the Ultra Ball. Probably he discards, I believe, a Counter Catcher and something else. He gets the Noctowl. He gets the Crispin back once again, and the boss's orders. He bosses the routes, uses the magical charm, takes his second prize, and now it's back to Ben with still not a single Gardevoir in play, unfortunately. Not a very good look right here, but if he can get the knockout on the Sylveon, which is a little bit difficult because it's standing at 270 HP. So if he wants to get a knockout, he will have to hit the Sylveon twice. The problem is he has not hit the Sylveon at all this whole game because both players' benches are not full, and if it's not full, and even if it's full, he only hits for 220, so he needs Wayne to have the Area 0 in play to get a 1 knockout on the Sylveon, which unfortunately it's not looking very good for him right now. Now Ben using the Artisan, once again getting a route back into the bench. Will we see a Gardevoir in this entire game? Doesn't look like it might be so. Uses the Morty's Conviction, discarding the Turo, drawing 5 more cards, but he only seems to have about 3 cards left in the deck. Doesn't look very good for him right now, unfortunately. Because the deck's empty, there's nothing else in play. Game is probably going to be over in the next couple of turns, unfortunately. Now I was trying to see if he can get a game out, get something to do right over here. A Mind Bend actually would really be good right now. He uses the Dark Energy for some instance, which doesn't really work over here. He moves, he gets Night Stretcher. He uses a Mind Bend for 60 on the Sylveon. Sylveon's now confused, but I feel like if he can get the right coin flip to get a knockout, okay, so he gets, I believe he said hit steals, can't really tell from over here, but he gets the magical charm knockout. And now Ben over here getting the Clefairy to the active, but it's still not enough to get a knockout, unfortunately. Because there's only 9 Pokemon in play, so he only will be able to hit for 180, which again, still not enough to get a knockout. He will need to fill up his entire bench to get a knockout over here, but he only hits for 250, I believe 260. So the Sylveon still left with 10 HP. The Sylveon being so strong has not even left play the entire game so far. And now Wayne, opting to retreat the Sylveon, brings up the Flareon, the big Flareon with the 3 energies. He uses the Carnelian, he knocks out the Clefairy, he takes his second last prizes, and now Ben is scooping the game because he is no out over here. Very strong gameplay over here by Wayne, and we'll see you in the next round.
Welcome to round 4 of the second last Ultra Ball League that happened at Taste Orchard. We have Faris playing Mamoswine EX. Okay, and it's going against Kai's Terror Box on the right. Prepare to see some insane Mamoswine plays here. I was at this Ultra Ball League. It was a lot of players. I think some say 300. Officials just said 300. Apparently there were more than 300 players, slightly over. Insane player count. And I expect Master Ball League to be even more when it comes to then. I haven't introduced myself yet. Nicholas here from the Sauna Islands, and I'll be taking over commentary for rounds 4, 5, and 6 before passing over to BQ. Curious to see who's going to start first. Rarely we see Mamoswine EX decks, not really high up in the meta, but it's quite insane though. I think it's paired up with Blaziken EX. Not too sure the way that Faris is playing, but I am very curious to watch this match. I'm curious to see who will start first as well. Terror Box is a very popular deck. Expect to see the Water Ogre Pawn, a Fan Rotom start to find Hoo-Hoo Noctowl, that sort of thing in your turn 1. Putting pressure on your opponent with various different kinds of attackers in your deck. And Mamoswine does need to evolve from a Swine Up, so that could be a burden for Faris if he doesn't, because there is no bench barrier yet. Take note, at this Ultra Ball League, Destined Rivals was not legal yet, although we could play the Marnie deck and Steven deck, but any other cards that were not in those two rival battle decks were not legal for this tournament, so no shaming. The bench is susceptible to Water Ogre. You can expect a quite long match here. We're waiting for the round to start from the judges. And thankfully, all this was ironed out by the next day. Tournament, I understand, went very, very smooth on the day 2, I would say, of the 1st June. Oh, and everyone got their promos as well. No wonder that there was a slight delay there. Everyone got the Iris Fighting Spirit Ultra Ball League promo today. That reminds me as well that you should check out the vlog that I made of this tournament. It's on our Southern Islands channel, so check it out. Did a full day vlog, and also thanks to Eshpal. He did the earlier round for this tournament, and he also covered the results at the end of the video, so thanks to him for covering for me, because I had to leave a little bit early. Yeah, if you're curious to see how tournaments are run in Singapore, check out the Southern Islands YouTube channel. Our vlogs have a very in-depth look at how tournaments are run. So Kai is starting first here. Fan Rodom start. You can't ask for a better start here. And the Hood Noctowl that you expect from Terra Box. And a turn 1 deck search as well. Faris has a Velo in the front. This is the way he's going to try to protect his bench. And the Water Ogre Point, as I mentioned, has come down on turn 1. But no way to retreat that Hood yet. The deck does play a Latios EX, so that's one way to retreat later. Alright, just get a Buddy Poffin, so I expect to see some Swine Ups come down. Swine Ups? Any? Swine Up is 70 HP and below, right? Even better, it's the special art Swine Ups. Thinking of what else you want to put down here. Here comes the Pidgey as well. Ooh, a Pidgeot engine with the Mamoswine. We're able to help him find any one card every turn. But of course, there is a Water Ogre on Kai's side here. If he can get it up to the front, that Pidgey is in danger. It's going to be a pass. Here comes the first Noctowl. Because there is a Terra Pokemon in play, Kai is able to find any 2 trainer cards he wants. Usually it's going to be a Crispin. He's going to find a Nest Ball. Let's see. See the Sparkling Crystal, we're not taking that out yet. It's going for a Research. Okay, that's interesting. Looks like we're not going to see... Oh, sorry, that's a Crispin play as well. So that's pretty interesting. Why did you take a Research if you're already intending to play Crispin? In any case, here comes the 2 energy cards. Latios will help move the Who for free. Velo and Pidgey can be taken out. So let's see if Paris has a rare candy to evolve this Swine Up into a Mamoswine right now. Yes? No? Oh, he has a counter catcher though. He can use that to try and delay some turns. He can catch up the Noctowl to buy himself maybe a turn or 2. He is going for that. Is that the stage 1 evolution of Swine Up? I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what happened because, like, what card did Favis play to come out a Serendipity and a Pidgey? Quite confused here. Any case. Oh, it's using the Swine Up attack. Swine Up attack is able to search for 2 basic Pokemon for your bench. It's like a call for family. Kai can keep putting up the pressure here by using the Water Ogerpon to try and take out the Pidgey and the Swine Up. But I'm not sure if we can retreat the Noctowl though. Yeah, that's the tiny problem sometimes when there's commentating post-game. We don't have the volume on. We're not sure what attack each player is using. Usually it's quite clear, but in the deck there's Swine Up, like Memo Swine, where we rarely see. Sometimes we just gotta guess, Sometimes we just gotta guess. Anyway, a second Noctowl has come out. 2 trainer cards. Going to be a Crispin, Nest Ball. The energy to the front to retreat. And I think it's going to attach the other one by hand attach to the Ogerpon, maybe to try and use Sob. I assume. Yep, it's going for Sob. There's 20 damage and your opponent cannot retreat next turn. Does Faris have a Pidgeot? Does he? I think I see a rare candy, but I'm not sure what else he has in his hand. Oh, come on, show us some of your hands so we can see what's there. I can't really tell. He got the rare candy. A Mamoswine is coming out right now. Mamoswine has an ability. Yep, the Mamoswine's ability is to search for any Pokemon and then put it in your hand. So he's going to use that to find a Pidgey Auto. And he's going to boss his orders back to Noctowl again and pass. So he's buying some turns. It's working. So Kai's research finally comes into play, but he had to throw a Rescue Stretcher. Oof. And a Nest Ball as well. I rarely would want to throw away a Rescue Stretcher where a nice stretcher where possible. That card is going to be very important later in the game. So the Ultra Ball will find the Teal Mars Ogerpon, the Grass Ogerpon. This is the one that can allow you to, with the ability to attach a Grass Energy to draw 1. Does he have a Grass Energy in hand though? It doesn't even have an area 0, so he can't really do anything. He's going to pass with an energy set onto the Noctowl. Here comes the Pidgeot finally. Looks like he bought enough turns to get this Pidgeot out. And now the Pidgeot can help him find energy cards maybe to attack with the Mamoswine EX. I just need to show what the Pidgeot can find. The Mamoswine EX attack is 2 fighting energy for 180 plus damage. If it does 40 more damage for each stage 2 on your bench. So the Pidgeot counts as 1, so it's already doing 220 damage. Don't think he needs bench barrier by this point already. He's going to try to start attacking, I think. He gives 2 fighting energy using the Earthen Vessel. And a Buddy Puffin. See what he wants to find here. That's the Torchic. Okay, so he does play a Blaziken EX. Looks like the one in the hand earlier was a Combusken. No wonder he couldn't do much with it. And another Swine Up. So he's going to set up some backup attackers while attacking with this Mamoswine, which, by the way, has 340 HP. Freaking insane. And he's going to use TM Evolution instead of attacking. Going to evolve into Combusken and Piloswine. Again, I have no idea why do I remember Mamoswine's evolutions. But I did play Pokemon Go, so that's why. Interesting. The Noctowl is going to attack. Try and soften up this gigantic Mamoswine. But I think once Favis gets going, gets enough Mamoswines on play, it's going to be very difficult for Kai to come back here. Here comes the Blaziken EX along with the Mamoswine coming to play. The Blaziken EX ability, you may attach a basic energy card from this card pile to one of your Pokemon, so it allows you to charge your Mamoswines. Great way, great synergy together. Now Faris has 3 stage 2 Pokemon, so 240 damage. Arven. Wait, supported per turn. And he could attack and take his first prize here. Odd prize numbers, but it's fine. If he can keep streaming Mamoswines, he should be fine to play. It seems like Kai doesn't really have anything here. Crispin's gonna try and charge the... Getting a fighting and lightning. Don't know if you attach it to whom here. Is he gonna use Mew to attack? He is gonna use Mew to attack. Okay. Mew will copy the Mamoswine, so you hit for the base damage. But again, there's no stage 2 on Kai's side, so it's just the base damage of 180. While Faris can just, well, knock out that Mew in return. With 180 base damage, doesn't really need all those. But he's hitting for 180 to 40. 180 plus 120. 300! Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. 40 for each stage 2 Pokemon. If he can get another Mamoswine up, then he'll be hitting for 40, 40, 40, 40, 160, 340 damage. Don't look down on Mamoswine. That's a freaking insane Pokemon card. What's the Ultra Ball? Throwing away his A-Spec. It looked like Faris was on the back burner there in the early turns, but somehow with Counter Catcher and Boss's Order, he's bought enough time to come back, and now he has 3 prizes left to win this game. Kai finally has an open bench spot so he can play out that Serendipity there. I think he's looking for something like Area Zero, try and boost his bench space. Definitely looking for Noctowl to try and do something. 3 cards drawn. Looks like it's all energy cards. Oof. He can play Counter Catcher to try and buy some turns on his side. But I don't know what. Okay, Counter Catcher the Piloswine. Iono. Trying this up for his hand, but it doesn't really matter because Faris can just search for another Mamoswine from the deck using Mamoswine EX's ability. And then use Blaziken to charge. And he has Pidgeot as well. Oh, once this deck gets running, it's pretty hard to stop. Here comes God. I think he's looking to see if he has any fighting energy in his deck. He does. And he does have a switch as well, so you're going to send the clean and healthy Mamoswine. Last 2 prizes here. I think there's no way for Kai to win because Faris can just find a Boss's Orders using the Pidgeot to win the game. And he has 2 healthy Mamoswines to take out. Well, he can take out anything. There's 2 prizes basically, but the Serendipity is fighting weakness. So there is a Noctowl coming out, but I don't know what trainer cards is going to find here to even try to turn this game around. It's already too far back with no Pokemon that can really attack here. Oh, here comes the Cornerstone Ogerpon. Okay, that's something. The Cornerstone Ogerpon is protected from Pokemons with abilities. But of course, if Faris has the Boss's Orders, this game is over anyway. Let's see. Does he have a Boss's Orders in the deck? Does he? Oh my god, he doesn't. Is it really it? Did the Cornerstone just win the match? Is there nothing Faris can do? Okay, I'm totally shocked as well. Just looking through his deck and his card pile, I think he can't believe there's no way for him to come back from this year. All of his Pokemon have abilities. So this Cornerstone is just tanking right now, enjoying life. And he's already in the price lead as well, so there's no way he can counter Catcher. Kai could technically just play the game all the way. Here comes the 2-0. Yeah, okay, that was a bit funny. I think you need to play a switch over there. Yeah, correct. The Cornerstone can bypass Mimikyu. Yes, yes. So the Cornerstone's attack, not affected by weakness, resistance, or any existing effects on your opponent's Pokemon. So not even a Mimikyu can block the Cornerstone. Oh my gosh. Did Kai just win this game? I think Faris is just shell-shocked here that there's really nothing he can do. If he doesn't have a boss's orders, he can't come back from this match. Well, if Kai does take another prize, he can just... If Faris has a counter catcher, maybe. But I can't... His deck search is too fast. I can't really see if he does have anything like that. Yeah, I think he scoops here because the boss is also in the prize. So Kai, what a back and forth match. Congratulations to Kai for winning this insane Mamoswine versus Terror Box match. Alright, here we go into round 5 of the second last Ultra Ball League in Singapore 2024-25 season. This happened on 31st May. And if you didn't know, there was another Ultra Ball League, the final one that happened the very next day. So this match, we're going to see Jeremy playing his most favorite Gardevoir EX going up against Jasper playing Raging Bolt. Jasper as in a member of the Toxic Four, Jasper? Anyway, looks like Jasper's got a great first turn. Now it's Jeremy's turn here. He's going to set a Darkness Energy. And Baby Charmer, no vaults! And he's forced to pass here. Jasper immediately goes for the Noctowl. He's going to go for his deck search here. If you have a Terra Pokemon in play, in this case, Steel Mask or Gapon, you can, when you evolve, you can search for 2 trainer cards. Any trainer cards you want. Spotter, Item, and those, like in that case, Crispin and Earthen Vessel. You can even find Stadium cards. So Earthen Vessel going to look for energy here. Right, so it's going for 2 Grass Energy. It's going to be 1 Teal Dance for draw 1 later. So if you really have the Area 0 in hand, could put another Teal Mask Pokemon. I need to shuffle first, correct? Because you did a deck search with Earthen Vessel. Nice of Jeremy to remind his opponent. You must remember, in this game, self-judging is the most important thing. Don't forget to always remind your opponent. So Crispin comes out now. You can search for 2 energy. One is a free attachment, and 1 to your hand. He has his attachment for turn, so likely 2 can go straight to Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt's gonna go for his attack here. And discard energies from anywhere on the field. 70 for each one. So Jeremy's not giving up. He's got a Night Stretcher to bring back the Monkey Dory from the trash. Touch a Darkness Energy from his hand. Still no vaults though. Or is there a way to find vaults here? I don't know. Just had to throw 3 energies to take out a Monkey Dory with Bravery Charm. That's quite insane. Oh, I think he has a Fazendipity. He was considering whether he wanted to play it because that is a 2-price liability that Jasper can take advantage of. They get a Cleffa though. He can't retreat the Drifloon because he already attached an energy from hand to the Monkey Dory. But it will be a good free retreat pivot later after this Drifloon gets knocked out. There's no way. There is Jasper does have, if he plays it, the baby Raging Bolt is able to hit Jeremy's bench by passing the Drifloon. He still has bench space. He only has 6 there. With the areas your underdepths in play, you can have now 2 more, so total 8 for both players as long as they have Terra Pokemon. Noctowl coming out for taking boss orders and taking the energy retrieval. Energy retrieval can take back the fighting energy. And you assume a grass, so you can attach it to the other teal Master Pokemon to draw 1. There we go. And you can attach from hand the fighting. Then boss's orders the Monkey Dory or the Fazendipity. Let's see what it's going to go for. Contemplating. Just going to take the Drifloon and keep the boss's orders in hand. Okay. Ultra Ball. Perfect card for him to find a Vaults here. Draw Chi. Body Poffin maybe? Never underestimate Gardevoir, by the way, because it's a kind of deck that you would never expect, like, especially when Jeremy plays it. It's like, he can be even 2-3 prizes behind and somehow turn the game around. It's a kind of come from behind deck that Jeremy likes to play. So he got the Artazon out, he used that to find the vaults, first vaults. a Earthen Vessel. No psychic energy to discard though. He's forced to discard a Monkey Dory from hand. Shout out the gym promo Monkey Dories. Wow. The exclusive gym promos from our side of the world. 2 psychic energies coming out. So you're going to discard them with the Ultra Ball that he had in hand. I think that's very likely. There we go. Oh, it's going to keep 1. It's going to discard another 1 more card. It looks like what I think is a Mew EX. I'm not really sure. Oh no, it's the Lily's Clefairy. He's going to discard that. Get another Valts out. Yep. Is there a way for him to get a TM Evolution to evolve those 2 Valts? Or is he going to just use Cleffa to draw cards? Jasper will likely be aiming for Serendipity next turn. Because if Jeremy gets out Gardevoir on his next turn, then that'll be his next target for sure. Bravery Charm on the Lily's Clefairy. After picking up back with the Night Stretcher. Convoluted plays, you could have just discarded the Night Stretcher, I guess, instead of discarding the Lily's Clefairy. But that's just me. Here comes the Iono. Regional promo Iono. So putting Jasper down to 4 cards. While Jeremy was still able to draw 6 cards. Gonna use Monkey Dory's attack, which confuses the opponent and does 60 damage. It's a way to delay Jasper as well, because I don't think he has any other Raging Bolt. Not an attacker on the bench, actually. Ultra Ball incoming. And he didn't take a knockout as well, so don't expect any Fazan. This is the thing with Raging Bolt, though. A well-timed Iono can really, really slow Raging Bolt down a lot. But the Ultra Ball will find a 3rd Noctowl. He's grabbing his Ace back, can't really see what's that, and Sada's Vitality. Zoom is usually Prime Catcher in Raging Bolt. Okay, he's going for the Prime Catcher play, and then Sada. Right, he's gonna send out, because Prime Catcher, he has also have to change the retreat as well, so he says he uses the Fan World when it retreats, bypassing, losing the confusion in the process. They get 2 prizes here. Doesn't have any more Raging Bolts though. What does Jeremy have? Does Jeremy have a Rare Candy Gardevoir this turn? Let's see. Earthen Vessel getting another Psychic Energy. I think I can count 3. I think. Psychic Energies in this card pile. Not sure if there's any more. Grabbing 2 from there. Does he have an Ultra Ball or anything that sort? He could Artisan as well for another Valts. But I don't think he's going to clog up his bench. Grabbing all the Psychic Energy from the deck here. Another Earthen Vessel to grab out the last one. Looks like most of it is already in the discard pile. Or maybe there's some in the prize. Don't count Jeremy out yet though. Draw 3. Still not sure what he got. I see the Gardevoir. I see a secret box that can find a Rare Candy that he needs. Discarding 2 Psychic and a Nest Ball. Okay, here we go. So I think Rare Candy should be the one here. Yep. So you can find 1 Stadia, 1 Supporter, 1 item, 1 tool. And more Bravery Charms in the deck, I think. So it's going to be Iono, Artisan, Rare Candy. I assume Rare Candy for Gardevoir. Then a Iono play. So why did you take the Artisan anyway if you can't play because you already have an Artisan in play? Well, that would mean because you're playing Iono, you'll be shuffling your whole hand under your deck. So there's 100% chance you won't be drawing into that Artisan after the Iono play. It's these small little decisions here that make up that can turn the game around. So this will reduce Jasper to 2 hand cards. Jeremy will be back to 6 again. See Jeremy slowly taking the steps to come back into this match. But Jasper does have enough turns to try and come back. It's not sure why he top decks here. Iono down to 2, and then he'll draw 1 card at the start of his turn. And if Gardevoir is ready, is he going to attack with Gardevoir? Let's see. Yep, he's going to go for Gardevoir here. And with 2 Darkness, he can transfer 60 directly to any Pokemon. So each Monkey Dory can transfer 30. Does it all to that Raging Bolt, and then he's going for Monkey Dory knockout. Okay, let's see what Jasper has. He got a Grass Energy, so he can Tail Dance for 1. See, can he come back? Did he get any draw supporters? So another Grass. Did he get anything that he can come back with? Or will he be forced to pass here? Because again, He also had evolved his last last Hoot Hoot. So there's Ultra Ball is not out either. He's forced to Artisan. Does he have another Hoot Hoot in the deck? I wonder. So usually they play 3-3, like 3 Hoot Hoots, 3 Noctiles. Oh, so he's gonna be stuck here. I think he's eyeing out. Maybe he might be eyeing out the baby Raging Ball. That could be one way. Or they might also play a baby Corvidon. He does have an Ultra Ball though, so it could be a Fazan play coming here. But if he plays Fazan, then he doesn't have any other attacker. So it's just got to be this. If he can get to an Area 0, a Sada, and a Raging Bolt, that would be the perfect hand. Let's see what happens. Draw 3 cards. It doesn't seem like anything because he started to look to his discard pile now. Or maybe it is something, just making sure that of all the cards he used already. It's going to be a Pal Pad. Okay, so Crispin and Sada, I would think, would be the two. Yep, so it's Crispin and Sada's Vitality going back in. Jeremy doing his patented... let me look to your discard pile. So the free retreat is going to sacrifice the Noctowl and pass here. Knowing Jeremy, he might do something insane like set up multiple knockouts by moving damage counters here and there. But, don't know if he has enough turns for that because once Jasper can blow off, that Serendipity is going to be a target. Here comes the Monkey Dory, going to hit him for 60 here. Yep, we're going to move to a transfer after getting energy from Gardevoir and then going to pass. Okay, so another transfer will be enough to knock out that Noctowl. It's going to pass here. Jasper doesn't have anything that well played. Here comes the counter catcher. That's exactly what I was just predicting earlier. Jeremy's just going to set up damage here and there to try and go for like a multi-price knockout. The reason he's doing this is so that he doesn't allow Jasper to activate Serendipity by setting up damages. Because now he has 4 prizes, right? So after setting up damage for Fazan and for Noctowl, just need to set up damage for Fan Rotom next, and then try and go for a triple knockout next turn. So you need 2 more turns. You need 2 more turns, likely. Yeah, Jasper is just stuck here. When it comes to Raging Bolt, taking so many prizes early on and getting Iono, it really hits hard for a deck. Very straightforward like Raging Bolt. They get a Crispin, but there's no real targets to attack with. That's a big issue here. Maybe attack with Fan Rotom, but you don't want to simply hit damage at this point, Jeremy, because that means that's free damage that's coming back to you from Monkey Dory. Especially with 2 Monkey Dory on the board as well. He's opting for a Lightning and Fighting. Let's see which is going to set to who. That's what I'm very curious about. It's going to be both on the Serendipity. Okay. That's very interesting. Oh, it has an energy switch. It's an energy switch, but I don't know. This is really tough for Jasper here. It's like staring at a brick wall. Can't really do anything. Jeremy is already showing that he has a 2-0 and a counter catcher because he's gonna try to spend more damage around. I think Jasper is just running out of options here. Jeremy just showing that what he can plan to do to win the game. Because for Jasper, he has no real attackers anyway. He's just gonna scoop. Wow, this is masterclass Gardevoir EX from Jeremy. Great example if you are leaning to Gardevoir for the Master Ball League. Let's go into the round 6. Here we go, round 6 of the second last Ultra Ball League in Singapore. Edmund and his Clifton playmat playing Terra Box going up against Yongyi's Grimm's Snarl EX on your right. Once again, after this Swiss round, this will be my, I'll be saying bye-bye and passing over to the next commentator after this. So thank you again for watching our coverage of the Ultra Ball League. Thank you to the players as well who participated and are willing to be on cam. Hopefully we're going to have a chance to record the Master Ball League as well. It's great to see our local players shine in the local scene. And if you're curious about how Ultra Ball leagues work in Singapore, if you're interested to play, check out our YouTube channel which you're watching right now. Check out the videos. Look back at I did a Ultra Ball League vlog for this very tournament itself. Starting first, not sure. We're playing Black Steve as well. Going to be slightly confusing. Setting up here, and we've got to wait for the judge to make sure everyone is ready before we start. So, Grimmsnarl EX, once again, I think I mentioned earlier in the Swiss 4 round, the Ultra Ball League is very special that weekend because we are the only standard format in the world. We're using international standard format, of course. The only standard format in the world that allowed Grimmsnarl EX, Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, and Steven's Metagross EX to be legal. Only the cards from the decks, though. So no other cards from Destiny Rivals were allowed. So you're not going to see. We didn't see any rockets, of course. And you would know it if you followed the Southern Islands channel. So we broke the news the moment we found out before the official channel that you could play Grimmsnarl EX today. Of course, if you managed to get one, because it was so difficult, everyone just buying out this rival battle deck. Very, very good deck, Grimmsnarl. One of the top decks of the current Destined Rivals meta. It plays together with Frostlass and Monkey Dory. So Frostlass Monkey Dory was already a deck on its own, where the Frostlass would ping damage counters to all Pokemon with abilities, including your own Monkey Dory, and then you will use the Monkey Dory ability to transfer the damage to your opponent. And now with Grimmsnarl EX in the deck, you have a proper attacker which can deal 180 damage consistently, and it can charge itself, and you have a stadium to find Marnie's Pokemon. Interesting, Edmund started first, had to set the energy and pass. I think this is why he wore Luck is a Skill for the next day's tournament in the same venue, Taste Orchard. You'll give it a great start. You always want to see that Arven turn 1, Secret Box and TM Evolution. So the Secret Box is going to come out. Got 3 cards. Going to find a Buddy Puff in here. Probably get Impidimps. So it's getting 2 Darkness. And let's see what else. Nope, it's going to keep 1 Darkness. Giving to a nice Stretcher and the Counter Catcher. That's the one thing about Secret Box sometimes, you discard so many cards, right? And so painful, but the upside is quite worth it. See, now he's got Iono, Buddy Puffin, Spike Murph, which can find a Marnie's Pokemon, and a Rescue Board as well. In very, very strong start. Buddy Puffin coming out. I think it's going to be Impidim and Snorunt. I'm not too sure if it's going to come out a third Snorunt. Because he does have Spike Murph as well. So, okay. That's pretty cool. Sushi Man, the Sushi is here. Can find supporter card every turn. Rescue Board will probably be attached to it later. Spike will find the second one. Okay, not attaching the Rescue Board yet. Okay. It's going to go straight to using the TM Evolution. So you can evolve 2 of your basic Pokemon on the bench. You're going to evolve 1 the Impidimp to Morgrim, and the other one to the first Frostlass is active. Yep, the Sushi will take damage because it has an ability. All Pokemon with ability will take damage. 10 damage for each Frostlass in between turns. Yep, so discard the TM Evolution. So Edmund didn't have anything else besides Hoot, 2 Hoots. It's going to say another Energy. Does he have a Terra? Does he have the Sparkling Crystal? Nope. Really shitty hand there. So here comes the Spike Murph. It's going to evolve that to a Grimmsnarl thing. Here we go. 2 Darkness Energy coming out. As well, I did mention to you that only Grimmsnarl and Metagross are legal. That means Shaymin is not legal, right? So expect this 180 and 30 to go to the Hoot. Interesting. He's only attaching 1 Darkness Energy. Probably has 1 in hand, or just keeping it. And very interestingly, he chose to play Iono knowing that Edmund is stuck. And there's no Monkey Dory as well on Yongi's side. So playing that Sushi does affect the deck somewhat because you only got space for one Monkey Dory. And also, very interestingly, he passed. He's not going to retreat the Snorunt. Okay. Here we go. So, Edmund did draw a Noctowl off the Iono. Here comes the Crispin. I think we're going to see Snorunt get knocked out and probably the fish for 2 prizes. Here's the Teal Mask Ogerpon as well for a nice ball. Crispin coming up. 1 water, 1 grass will go to the hand. And the grass and the water energy will be set so Teal Mask. So the water Ogerpon can hit 100 to the front and 20 to the back. Comes Terra Pikachu EX as well. And you switch to Terra Pikachu. Mew coming down. Yep. It's going to hit the Frostlass because Frostlass is 120. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's an even better target than hitting the fish. For sure. And somehow Edmund is pulling this out of the bag and slowly clawing his way back into the game. Oof, Defiance Belt isn't coming here. It's going to hit for 210. A Monkey Dory also is out. He'll definitely be able to knock out the Water Ogerpon here. Unless he doesn't have a Darkness Energy. But I think 210 should be enough though. He's contemplating. Going for Counter Catcher play on Pikachu and then Iono. See, hope to get Darkness Energy, I think. 6 to 4. You're only getting 6 cards, of course. Did he miss the Darkness? He's just going to hit 210. That will leave Pikachu with 10 HP left. And it will be knocked out by Monkey Dory the following turn. Now, interesting, he put the 30 on the Noctowl. I'd rather put it on the Hoot or one of the 2 prizer Pokemon like maybe the Ogerpons instead. I think on the Noctowl, Edmund is definitely, where possible, he's going to discard the Noctowl when the Area 0 gets bumped because he can always nice touch the Noctowl back to hand and then evolve the other Hoot to use the Noctowl's Jewel Seeker ability. So Fazante pretty coming out. Draw 3 from the Mew. And kaboom! 300 damage from Pikachu. And not enough to knock out the thing I forgot. There's no Frostlass as well. Maybe 10 shot or 20 shot. Can't really see from here. Ooh, Young is controlling boss's orders. Okay. I think he didn't get Darkness Energy to use the Monkey Dory. This is a little bit tough for him. Got me the Fazan. Okay. Going for 180-30 again. So now the Noctowl has 60 damage on it. Still quite a long ways away. Let's see. I would rather have hit the Hoot at that point. But thanks to the Defiance ban, Yongi does get 2 prizes from knocking out that one though. Here comes the Hoot. Look at that big bench. Nice stretcher. Get the Fazan. Draw 3. Because 8 got knocked out last turn. Here comes the 2-0. 2-0 by the Pikachu. Wow. Here comes the Sparkling Crystal. Here comes Teal Mask Ogerpon's going to knock out the Grimmsnarl here. Ba-boom. And here comes the other Grimmsnarl with only 1 energy on it. It's going to be tough. He's only going to pass here. If he passes, it's over because Emma can just knock it out with the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, I believe. Oh, he does have a Earthen Vessel, so Darkness Energy is here. But I don't think it's enough to knock out this Teal Mask, is it? No Defiance ban. And the worst is that It's Oven, not an Iron or anything like that. Counter catcher and rescue board. Gonna catch the Mew, knock it out. And find another energy. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's over. Edmund wins the game. Had a slow start, but congratulations to Edmund going to the next round with Terra Box.
Hey guys, this is Brian from the Southern Islands, and we are here to record round number 7 of the Ultra Ball League that happened at Taste Orchard on the 31st of May. Here we have Edmund playing Terra Box on the right and Kato playing Joltik Box on the left. So we are going to wait a couple of minutes for the match to start, but as we do, I do want to talk about this matchup just a little bit, right? So Joltik Box, once you get going, it gets going really, really fast, right? It actually preys upon decks like Gardevoir, preys upon decks like Dragapult as well, those which are stage 2, you know, which have the smaller basic Pokemon. Because Joltik is actually able to charge up an Iron Hands with Jolting Charge, so you can charge 4 energies to that Pokemon, and Iron Hands can then just use Amp you very much for a very easy 2-prize knockout. The other alternative attacker that he has is the Pikachu EX. The deck, however, is kind of prone to breaking, so if it breaks, it's very, very, very hard for it to come out. But then again, you know, the cards that that the deck is typically looking for is just a Nest Ball, right? You have the Nest Ball, you find a Miraidon, you have the Jolting Charge with the Joltik, and you'll be fine. Terra Box can potentially be a problem for Joltik Box, as a lot of the Pokemon that they are playing have about 200 to 210, 220 HP. You know, you technically can use that Miraidon that is in the Jolting Box as well, but it's just key on whether it just depends on whether the deck can set up. Terra Box actually, I think, has a pretty even matchup into here, but oh my gosh, we do see Iron Leaves, an Iron Leaf start from Kato. Kato does find that Boss's Orders from the Pokegear 3.0. Iron Leaves, by the way, is a terrible start. You're not able to use the Rapid Veneer ability for you to you know, change your Pokemon out of the active spot, and so I actually don't see anything from the side of Kato. So Kato just passes here. This is a huge chance for Edmund. Edmund finds a Nest Ball, finds that Van Rotom. You know, looks has that Ditto there as well, able to use Ditto for the Pikachu. Pikachu, that's a very fast Pikachu. Oh, and that's just game. Well, we didn't expect that to happen, but that is game number 7. See you guys at game number 8. Hey guys, this is Brian from the Southern Islands, and here we are recording round number 8 of the UBL that happened at Taste Orchard. We have Ricky playing the Joltik Box and Bjorn playing the Raging Bolt. This matchup, ever so painful for the Joltik Box. You know, we just talked about the Joltik Box a little bit earlier. If you were here watching round number 7, Raging Bolt, on the other hand, having a great time against this deck, because the main attackers for Joltik Box are those 2 prizes, right? The only single prize card from the Joltik Box is going to be that Galvantula, the baby Galvantula, sorry, that you can evolve from. That Joltik does quite a bit of damage. I think it's 180 damage, if I'm not wrong there. Yeah, so you can do about 180 damage with the Shocking Web attack, 50 plus, 80 more damage if this Pokemon has any lightning energies attached to it. And if it's hitting a Pokemon with an ability, you're doing 50 more damage. So there's a whopping, shocking, I guess, 180 damage that single prize Pokemon can dish out. But, you know, for Beyond, on the other hand, his Pokemons are all, you know, the big 2 prizes as well, but it has a lot easier of a time to take a knockout onto the Joltik Box 2 prizes, right? So you've got Slitherwing that's able to do which is able to one-shot the Pikachu EX on the other side because of the residual burn from the effect of the second attack. And then you've got Raging Bolt, of course, with Bellowing Thunder, able to dish out 70 damage per energy that you throw from your side of the board. It doesn't have to be attached to that Raging Bolt. Very, very strong ability. It's almost virtually uncapped damage. right? So between these two attackers, you're able to take one shot off every one of Ricky's Pokemon. So that in 3 turns, you are able to just basically win the game, assuming you're able to gust around or boss around the Joltik that's at the front that is looking to use Jolting Charge at turn 2. It's going to be interesting to see who starts second here. I think typically the Raging Bolt player does want to start first, and then the Jolting Box player does want to start second here. So we'll see how these two players end up playing. Both of them doing very well this season. I think Ricky is about ranked number 10 or 11 at this point in time. Bjorn being in the top 4, top 5 of this season. You know, so very, very, very interesting and high level match to watch here. So as the players are setting up, you know, I think just a thought. I think talking about these two decks in the meta at this point, Joltik Box actually very. I think at this point in time, this was pre-Destined Rivals. Was very, very prevalent around all the amongst all the Singapore players. I think Joltik Box generally is very, very, very strong. However, I think Bolt, you know, is one of the BDIFs of that format. You had Bolt, you had Gardevoir, you had Dragapult. Those 3 decks, in my opinion, are the decks to beat. That's how Joltik Box, I think, started to come around, because it preys on these stage 2 decks. I didn't quite like to see that Raging Bolt, but you know, we saw later on, I think some of the Joltik Box players actually playing Genesect from Shrouded Fable, where when you attach a tool to this Pokemon, you are able to negate the aspects so negate your opponent from playing aspects from their hand. So this stops plays like that Prime Catcher that the Raging Bolt typically uses. So it's one less gusting option for the Raging Bolt player. And Raging Bolt at this point in time only plays, I think, the 1 Prime Catcher, the 1 Counter Catcher maybe, and like 1 Boss's Orders. All right, so we're going straight into the match. We do see, I think, Ricky starting first. He unfortunately starts with that Pikachu EX in the front. He uses the Ultra Ball to discard away the Boss's Orders and the Bravery Charm. Here he is doing a basic deck check. I think wants to find a Miraidon here. Yep, manages to find a Miraidon EX. He uses it to uses the Tandem Unit ability, which allows you to find up to 2 basic lightning Pokemon from your deck and put it onto the field. So we typically see the Joltik as well as the Iron Hands. This is the standard start. So we do see a Mana retreat into the Joltik. And he is going to be pretty happy with that. I think he's just going to pass. Sometimes I would like to see the either lightning energy or grass energy attached to that Joltik, so that you don't have to worry about whiffing the energy for turn number 2. But this is just fine as well. On the other side of the field, we do see Bjorn playing, like I said, Raging Bolt. So starts with the Ditto, really, really strong card, allows you to transform into any one of your basic Pokemon inside your deck. So Bjorn here is doing a quick deck search to ensure that he knows what is in his prizes. I do expect to see a Fan Rotom. There we go, Fan Rotom. With the powerful Fan Call ability, allows you to find 3 Pokemon from your deck, 100 HP or less. Sorry, 3 colorless Pokemon, 100 HP or less from your deck, and put it into your hand. So this even allows you to find things like that Noctowl that we saw him put there. So we do see the 2 Hoots and 1 Noctowl. This is a very basic start coming out from Beyond. We also do see Terrapagos drop, which is very unique. And is going to completely, I think, flip this game on its head. Pagos being able to use Crown Opal isn't going to allow basically Ricky to attack the Terrapagos. The Terrapagos acts as a very, very effective wall. And the wall, because Crown Opal just negates all non-colorless basic Pokemon damage that's dealt to it. Question is, how is he going to get 3 energies attached to the Terrapagos? I do expect to see some E-switch shenanigans here. And Ricky on the other side manages to just use Crispin. I think pretty happy with what he has right now. Just uses that Jolting Charge to charge 2 lightning, 2 grass energies from your deck and put it to your Pokemon in any way you like. The only downside to this situation is that Beyond actually this also fixes Beyond's price mapping, right? Because it allows you to go 1, 1, 2, 2. So 1, 1 being the 2 Joltiks that he will knock out, and then the last two prizes will be any of the other 2 prizes which we mentioned earlier. And here there's a very clear path to victory. The Slitherwing can take out that Pheasantipede, and then the Raging Bolt can take out the Iron Hands or the Miraidon. In fact, with this kind of board state, honestly, Bjorn doesn't even need to worry about doesn't have to worry about using his 2-prize Pokemon. You have things like your Slitherwing that's just gonna take this game over. We do see, I think, Iono being found from that Noctowl. And yep, he's just happy to Iono. Oh, in fact, Bjorn isn't even gonna bench a Raging Bolt here. He just uses manual attaches to that Terrapagos. Very happy with sniping away the Joltex. Very easy 2 prizes for the side of Bjorn. Benches the Pheasantipede as well as extra insurance to ensure that he doesn't brick. And Ricky is in a little bit of a pickle. He does have the Latias in his deck on his field now, so basically Pokemon are going to be able to retreat for free using this Skyliner ability. And yeah, so we just saw Arvin being played, so it's going to be Prime Catcher, as well as a Future Booster Capsule, allowing future Pokemon to hit for 20 damage harder, and it also gives that Pokemon free retreat cost. Very powerful tool card. So question here is, what is Ricky trying to kill off beyond side of the bench? It looks like it's a potential Prime Catcher into the Slitherwing, which will amp you very much for 140 damage, which should kill that Slitherwing, as I believe Slitherwing does have 120 HP. So Future Booster Capsule putting in heaps of work here. But the question is, which route is Ricky going to go with? The extra energies on that baby Raging Bolt isn't too big of an issue for the side of Beyond, by the way, as he is going to be able to use that energy as discard fodder for the big Raging Bolt EX. So we do see Ricky drop the Prime Catcher to pull out that Slitherwing. I think he's trying to find a tool card here, trying to draw out his deck sequencing, very important. Mew and Fez able to actually let you see up to 6 cards. That's why you start to see a lot of players benching those support Pokemon early, to give you the extra level of insurance, to ensure that you don't end up with the dead hand. Beyond, with the Genesect on the field now, Beyond has to think whether he wants to play that Ace Spec card this turn. If not, he may not be able to play Ace Specs from his hand, which typically, there we go, we do see that Prime Catcher in his hand, so that Prime Catcher is going to be super key, and the question is he going to be able to use this Prime Catcher this turn? It would be super useful, perhaps even get rid of that Pheasantipede on the bench of Ricky's to limit the number of cards Ricky can see next turn. Alright, so we do see the Raging Bolt as well as the Hoot come down from the double Nest Balls found from that Noctowl. We do see an Ultra Ball being played. We do see the Noctowl being found. Noctowl is gonna Beyond is gonna set up the Noctowl for next turn. So I don't think we will see the Prime Catcher right now, but we don't really need to see it. We do see Sada being played, allows you to attach 2 energies from your discard pile to any one of your ancient Pokemon. So we do see 2 ancient Pokemon here. We also see another Grass Energy and manual attachment to the Terrapagos. I think here it's just as a he is just gonna use beatdown for 240 damage. Very, very easy way to keep energies on the board for next turn, as well as dish out a hefty amount of damage with Terrapagos. Terrapagos is actually very interesting into this deck. Actually, 2 manual attachments allows you to use Unified Beatdown, which allows you to do 30 damage for the amount of bench Pokemon that you have on your side of the field. So with a max bench of 8 with that area 0, we do see 240 damage being dealt. Massive damage right now. Beyond, which brings Beyond back down to 2 prizes. We do see boss's orders coming out from Ricky, but I think this is all said and done. You know, we just gonna see the Ursaluna take a knockout onto that Pheasantipede. And yeah, the Raging Bolt is just gonna have free reign here. Yeah, use kills of Fez, and that is just game for the side of Beyond. Congratulations, Beyond, for making it to it's number 9. Hey guys, welcome back to round number 9 of the Ultra Ball League that happened at Taste Orchard. We have the final round here. These two boys, Edmund and Bjorn, are both X and 0 right now. Edmund playing the Terror Box on the right and Bjorn playing the Raging Bolt on the left. This matchup is definitely interesting. So I think now we know that Bjorn definitely plays at Terrapagos. So Edmund can't just do the standard Terrapagos things in terms of setting up the Terrapagos and using Crown Opal to kind of wall off the Raging Bolt here. Because Bjorn plays hit one copy of the Terrapagos as well. So in order to navigate this matchup, Edmund does need to find ways to take consistent two prize knockouts here. He does have access to Fan Rotums, when Beyond also has access to Fan Rotums and Raging Bolt. This is almost like a mirror, except I think it's slightly more favored towards Raging Bolt because Raging Bolt is better equipped to take out the two prize Pokemon, whereas Terrapagos has that flexibility to take 1/1s if needed. And don't get me wrong, I think it's still possible for him to do that here with the Wellspring Ogohan upon taking out a Hoot Hoot or and a Noctowl or two Hoot Hoots, on the bench to get rid of Beyond's draw engine. Both definitely options. So this is probably a 55-45 matchup. I think slightly favored towards Raging Bolt here. Really depends. Specifically for this matchup, it's probably 55-45 because Beyond plays the extra copy of that Terrapagos EX in his own deck. And we start off with Beyond starting first. So he has a pretty decent start in that Teal Mask Ogerpon. I think he will be trying to find a Fan Rotom this turn if he can. He uses the Earthen Vessel to discard Professor Stardust Vitality to find himself 2 energy cards from his deck. He is using the Teal Dance ability, which allows him to charge 1 grass energy from his hand to the Teal Mask Ogerpon and allows him to draw 1 card. This does not count as the energy attachment of the turn, so you're able to actually filter out or able to get extra energies on the board, which is super beneficial for the Raging Bolt player, as Raging Bolt needs more energies to discard for him to do effective amounts of damage. So here we also do see him sacrificing 1 Noctowl from his deck, using that Ultra Ball to find that Fan Rotom as mentioned earlier. He will use that transformation Ditto, likely to find either Baby Bolt or a Big Raging Bolt EX. Yep, so he finds the he finds the Big Bolt here. As there's nothing small, or it doesn't really make meaningful sense to snipe small things off Edmund's side of the field. He's pretty happy with just finding 1 Hoot there, and he does also have the Noctowl in his hand, so he will be able to just evolve next turn to find 2 more trainers, as long as there is a Terror Pokemon on his side of the field, in which this case would be that Humans Ogerpon that he started with. So that and he is also placing Jamming Tower there. Super smart call, as it's gonna kind of stop Edmund from doing any kind of shenanigans with like a counter catcher, or not counter catcher, but like a boss, Sparkling Crystal or basically stops him from using Sparkling Crystal, right? Which negates 1 attack or 1 energy cost from a Terra Pokemon. So Edmund, using his own Fan Call on his side of the field, will just manually retreat his Wellspring Ogerpon after finding the 2 Hoot Hoots as well as a Noctowl. He just passes across. Very smart to retreat that Wellspring Ogerpon, as there is it is a 2 prize liability in the front and is going to force Beyond into finding a gusting option, either his Prime Catcher or his Boss's Orders for his turn. And if he does use Boss's Orders, that means he can't play something like the Crispin or the Sada, which will allow him to actually attack that turn, right? So pretty smart call from the side of Edmund. Super clean so far. Beyond they're just using the Earth Vessel yet again. Manages to use Teal Dance to get more cards, to see more cards, to get more energy in the board using the Sada. So Professor Sada's Vitality allows you to attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to any ancient Pokemon in the field. If you do, draw 3 cards. And right there, uses Nest Ball to find the Latias. And he also manages to evolve the Hoot Hoot with the Noctowl he kept in his hand to find the Prime Catcher, as well as the Night Stretcher. Night Stretcher likely going to find, I think, either a Grass Energy there or Noctowl perhaps from next turn, setting up the board for next turn, and he just takes two prizes from discarding 3 energies from his side of the field. Battling Thunder does 70 damage times the amount of energies that you discard, so that's 210 damage, which is perfect math for that Wellspring Ogerpon that Edmund had set on the bench. Edmund now behind in 2 prizes does not actually have an energy attachment on the board. It doesn't have an energy attachment on the board, so he's unable to actually attack, I think, this turn, unless he's able to look out for maybe like a Night Stretcher sub angle onto the Noctowl, which will really, I think, hamper Beyond's chances, or at least for 1 turn, right? The strategy here, I think, will be to try to stall it out. However, we do see the Pikachu come down already, so this tells me that Edmund's going to try to find a Crispin, and I think Sparkling Crystal. No, finds Nest Ball for the Clefairy, which will be able to take out the Raging Bolt here, but Clefairy with no charm is going to leave him pretty wide open. Manages to find Aerozoras and a Nest Ball. Nest Ball is going to look out for, I don't know, yeah, the Latios here makes a little bit more sense. Allows him to retreat that Van Rotom. And yeah, so he just evolves his second Hoot as well into the Noctowl. Unfortunately here, I mean, just wouldn't. Emily's in a pretty bad state, right? Because he's used up both Hoot Hoots on his side of the field, so he's unable to use Jewel Seeking next turn. Yeah, rather, unless he finds a Hoot Hoot this turn, he's not unable to find a Jewel Seeking next turn. So he's just going to be relying very much on whatever he has on his hand, and raw drawing the cards that he needs. He has a Crispin that he used onto the Clefairy. Crispin here allowing you to search up for 2 energy cards of different colors and attach them one to your Pokemon and put the other one in your hand. But then when it goes into your hand, you can then attach it to another Pokemon. So it does allow you to effectively charge 2 energies on that turn. So Edmund does identify correctly, puts out that Clefairy, uses the Clefairy to take out the 2 prizes onto that Raging Bolt, as Clefairy does 20 damage for each bench Pokemon on both players' side. And then on top of that, Fairy Zone allows all Psychic Pokemon all Dragon type Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field have the weakness of Psychic, right? So Clefairy here hitting for way higher than 240 damage that HP that the Raging Bolt has. So Beyond here trying to set up a Terrapago's a very effective general attacker here. You know, with 2 energies able to deal 30 damage for the amount 30 times the amount of bench Pokemon on your side of the field. So full bench here is going to allow you to hit for 240. But with Clefairy only having 190 HP, all you need is, I think, what, 3, 9, 6, 5, 7. So you need 7 benched Pokemon in order for you to hit for 210, which will take a knockout. And here we do see Terrapagos once again putting in the work for Beyond, and able to just kill the Clefairy with just a very easy unified beatdown. So Edmund here behind in prizes by 2. The question is Edmund going to find a way out? He needs to use his Pikachu EX that's on his bench as an attacker this turn, because Pikachu EX, unless Beyond uses the Slitherwing, Beyond's unable to actually take a straight knockout onto the Pikachu EX because of Pikachu EX's ability, which allows Pikachu to survive 10 HP if it had full HP before your opponent has attacked. So think of it as like a focus sash, right, for the VGC players out there who are watching this. Emma here doesn't seem to have drawn the pieces he needs. He needed like a Teal'c Ogerpon, he needed an energy switch, he needed a grass energy as well. He needed so many things. But here he uses the Blood Moon Ursaluna. I think I did see an energy on Edmund's side of the field. So I think it's just going to be a hand attachment to the Blood Moon Ursaluna here, which allows him to attack for 1 less energy cost for each one of Beyond's for each one of your opponent's prizes that he has taken. So with 4 prizes down, all he needs is to take 1 energy card from his side of the field to attach onto that Blood Moon Ursaluna for him to attack. And is going to swing to take a knockout onto that Teal'c Ogerpon, basically stopping beyond from drawing more cards than he needs to. So with the Crispin there, I think Crispin is all he needs, because it's just Crispin for 2 energies onto that Raging Bolt, and Raging Bolt is just going to be able to use Bellowing Thunder to knock out that Ursaluna on Edmund's side of the field.